another question from the audience. Mike, this would be for you. Talk about distribution and marketing. We understand the passion hasn't been important. All of your employees started brewing beer in their homes when they were 14.
Not me.
You did.
No.
Talk about the distribution and marketing plan.
Okay, as we mentioned a minute ago, beer is a three-tier industry. The Federal Alcohol Act that was put in place by the federal government upon the repeal of Prohibition requires that there's three tiers of distribution. You have a brewery, you have a wholesale entity, and then you have a retail entity. It's the same thing for wine, it's the same thing for liquor. So brewers cannot self-distribute, we can't retail products. So when you looked at the launch of the company, and we'll have to do this on every market that we roll into, we'll have to pick a distribution partner. And today, it's a dynamic business, but because of the growth of Anheuser-Busch, over the past 50 years, AB grew to become, on a national scene, a 50 market share player, which basically said there could be other distributors, but they were going to have a lot less than 50% to play with. And over time, what's happened is you've evolved into basically a two-beer distribution system in the United States, an AB distributor and a Miller and Coors, and now you do have liquor and wine players that also take on craft brands and import brands. So as a company, because it was St. Louis and because we're in the business of going after market share, as I said earlier, we chose the Miller Coors system. Now, we've talked, that doesn't mean we're going to do that every place. Billy's a Busch. I was with the company for 20 years, so we've got a lot of friends in the Anheuser-Busch system. It didn't make sense in this market. That doesn't mean it won't make sense to be in the Anheuser-Busch system in other markets. And then through our distribution partners, currently Summit Distributing in St. Louis, Fritz Distributing in Metro East and Springfield, Fechtel Distributing Company out of Columbia, Jeff City, Lake Ozark. We also have a couple of people employed in the company now that supplement that selling effort of the distributors, because the distributors have multiple brands to sell. And so when a distributor goes into C. Schnucks or Deerbergs or Shop and Saves or, you name it, any beer, any bar, any restaurant, they've got multiple brands to manage. So every brewery, including this company, and Billy invested in this from the start, we've got personnel on the street that are 100% dedicated to the sales of the distribution and the merchandising and the availability of Kräftig Lager and Kräftig Light. And that model right now is working very well for us in this market, and I think it's something that will evolve over time. But we really did put a lot of thought into that system. Our pricing strategies are, quite frankly, simply to be head-to-head with the lager and the light beer leaders in the marketplace. That's really what separates us from craft brands. We're micro, as I said, only in size. We're not micro in price. So when you go buy a six-pack of Kräftig Light, you should find it, if we're doing our job, at about $5.99 a six-pack. That's about the same price that you should find Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light, etc. In the marketplace. So our objective is to be priced at parity and to give the beer consumer an alternative at that price point. And so far, so good.